Family and fellow soldiers, I'm the Professor, and this is the Moment of Truth. And now the Friday Crime Report. Franklin, New Hampshire, Saturday, June 3rd, 2023, 12 o'clock noon. At around noon, police in Franklin, New Hampshire responded to calls about gunshots at a home on Elkin Street.
Sitting watching TV, you hear 5 gunshots.
Inside the home, they found the bodies of Nicole Hughes, age 35, along with her 18-month-old baby daughter, Ariella Hughes. Both of them were dead from gunshot wounds. There was also a second child, a 5-year-old girl who had also been wounded with a gunshot wound to her right arm and lacerations to her back, seemingly from a blade. A man was reported as having been seen fleeing the house on foot after the shooting. He was identified as 42-year-old Jamie Bell. Nicole had been his girlfriend, and the toddler, Ariella, was their daughter. The 5-year-old who had been wounded was not Jamie Bell's child. The girl was Nicole's through another relationship. A huge manhunt ensued with helicopters and ground patrols sweeping the area. Police warned residents that the suspect should be considered armed and dangerous.
Every road was blocked off. The helicopters were circling our yard, and there was cops running around, and they said there was an active shooter they were looking for.
Hours passed. And then, around 5:30 p.m., Jamie Bell was found dead by the side of the Merrimack River from an apparent self-inflicted cut to the neck. The 5-year-old he had attacked was treated at a Massachusetts hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. And of course, predictably, the neighbors say, "Ours is a small, quiet little town. Nothing like that ever happens here."
It's just normally a quiet town. You don't expect this.
Neighbors shocked and saddened by the news.
This is a quiet neighborhood. This has always been really a good neighborhood.
As the days passed, more information came to light. The father of the 5-year-old who survived the attack said that he had warned Nicole about Bell's violent streak and that he hadn't wanted his daughter anywhere near her mother's boyfriend. Police found a gun at the scene of the murders, which they believed probably could have been the weapon used. It was an Eastern European handgun which came with rails and other equipment that would allow certain modifications, such as the addition of scopes, grips, and magazines, as well as a stock, which makes it where this handgun could be converted into a short-barreled rifle. The gun belonged to one of Bell's friends, a convicted felon named Justin Gebbo, who claimed to have been a friend of Bell since the age of 6. As a felon, Gebbo wasn't supposed to have a gun at all, so police arrested him, though it's still not known how the weapon came to be in Bell's possession. According to a police affidavit, Gebbo said that Bell had been using meth as well as steroids, and that he was paranoid. According to Gebbo, Bell believed that the 18-month-old baby he murdered wasn't actually his biological daughter. So the information, while not clear, does give more details about this tragedy, and you won't be surprised to learn that this double murder wasn't the first time Jamie Bell's been in trouble with the law.
Bell pleaded guilty to 3 counts of reckless conduct connected to a case where he rammed a truck into a vehicle an ex-girlfriend was riding in 2018. Records show police found meth, swords, a knife, and an axe in the truck, and that Bell served jail time related to that. Records also show Bell had been previously convicted on other charges, including 6 counts of criminal mischief, 6 counts of simple assault, 3 counts of criminal threatening, and 1 count of burglary.
You, get all that? This guy was a career convict. Now, that news piece didn't exactly put things in chronological order. It is the white media, after all. They don't do facts very well. So I'll give you a coherent telling of this thug's record. In 2008, he pleaded to DUI charges, as well as burglary charges, simple assault, criminal mischief, and obstructing a report of a crime or injury. In 2017, he was sentenced for criminal mischief. He spent 6 days in jail and a $3,900 fine. The next year, he had his little crime spree where he rammed his girlfriend's vehicle with his truck, and police found all those drugs and weapons that he wasn't supposed to have. And what was the punishment for this cornucopia of illegality? Just 18 months. With 67 days' time served. The only way to hold any system of corruption together long-term is to make sure that there are beneficiaries of that corruption and that that corruption bestows tangible benefits. Under white supremacy, the biggest corruption in human history, arguably the most important tangible benefit is genetic immunity from law. The police do not stop you, question you, harass you, charge you, or attempt to incarcerate you unless you do something really bad. This makes it where those classified as white are able to move much more freely about the society than black people who are constantly targeted, attacked, framed, and routinely murdered by police simply because. But genetic immunity from the law is not some victimless crime. When people are aware that there are laws on the books, but they also know that those laws are not enforced depending on certain biological factors, then after a while, people will begin to believe that the law is not supposed to apply to them at all, is not supposed to touch them ever. So in some people's minds, there's no difference between them committing a DUI, or simple assault, or burglary, or double murder. And why not? They've been conditioned to expect no consequences. Now, how much different would the lives of Nicole Hughes and Ariella Bell be if the authorities had simply enforced their own laws instead of upholding this racial double standard? But for the dominant society, the risks and consequences of genetic immunity from law are meaningless in comparison to the benefits they feel that they get out of it. So the leaders of the society, along with the majority of its citizens, decided long ago that the routine double, triple, or dozen murders is a small price to pay for that privilege. In fact, for some of them, their refusal to change, in spite of the countless bodies hitting the floor daily, is a virtue. In their minds, this proves that they are so serious, so dedicated to racial privilege, that they'll see people, even children and babies, slaughtered before they think of changing this perverted racial order. To the white supremacists, this shows the strength of their beliefs. But we recognize that the only thing it shows are the depths of their depravity. The choice is clear. Live under a system of laws that apply to everyone equally, or live under the gun. Sadly, they already made that decision a long time ago. And that's this week's Friday Crime Report. Keep your eyes open and stay on alert, because there's a lot worse criminals out there than the ones the white corporate media chooses to show you. Good day, and be one. I'd like to take a moment to mention some of our contributors. Mike Hughes, Leon Fontaine, Suleiman Alaji, Antonio Daniels, and Bomber 777. Salute to them and thank you to everyone for listening, liking, and sharing this message. Black empowerment only exists because of you.